Hello, I'm Gary Jones. I'm going to do my first video lesson. Never done a lesson on video before, so it's fun for me. So, let me know if there's like things not doing right or whatever, or don't make any sense. What I'm trying to cover right now. The title of this is like a songwriting lotto style, because I'm making a game out of learning this stuff, so it's not so boring. And we're not going to cover a lot of stuff. I'm going to make this video as quick as I possibly can. But for like, if you want to write home songs at home, of course, this theory applies to any instrument. You don't have to have an instrument to do this. So we're just going to like play like a little game. You're going to need 2 sheets of paper, something to write with. And so you can hear what turns out like when you do it yourself. An instrument or someone that plays an instrument, any instrument, I guess. So, because this is about diatonic. What we're learning here is how to write a song out of a major scale key, which is done a lot in popular music. Mostly is all that. So, it's a pretty cool thing. So let me get to, actually this is an old one. I'm gonna fill this out with you to show you what we need to do. Okay, so what I did on a previous piece of paper, I'm going to make this my final paper. I'm just going to show you what to do. Basically, I'm going to leave this blank. That's where I'd put all the notes of the scale, but we haven't drawn a scale yet, so this is blank. What we do have is a map we're going to use. So this is a major diatonic map of what chords are in the family of that scale, which makes a perfect chords of that scale, because everything is in the same key, so it's considered perfect. So let's go with I'm going to put the letters up here of whatever key we do. So I'm just going to go first. I'm going to write out, and you'll need to write this out too. And write it down, or you can Google it. It's been around since the 16th century. It's not hard to find the information, but it's kind of hard to understand sometimes. So that's why I want to try to make this as simple as I can. So I'm going to go with Roman numerals. There's 7 notes in our major scale, 7 colors in the rainbow, and there's a chord for every scale, so we're going to have 7 of these Roman numerals. But it has to be written like this. So we're going to have our number 1, since we're in a major scale. This is going to be a major chord, so it's going to be a capital 1. Our second note in the scale, translating to a chord, will be a minor. So I'm just going to do this pattern here. The third note of the scale will be a minor. It's always going to follow this same pattern. It's never going to change. And we're going to have a 4, which is a major. A 1, 4, 5 in major would be all majors. 1, 4. We can do our 5. And we have 2 more. We have our 6th chord. That one is going to be a minor. And finally, we have our 7th chord of the major scale. The last is going to be the leading tone from the scale. Is going to be diminished. Now, okay, hopefully I'm not like running over this. This is just getting things ready to put this together. So bear with me. I hope it doesn't sound too boring. Right now we can't do much else. So if you write this down, what I did, and I also wrote A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I cut them up in little squares. Okay, each individually, separated. So I have my signature key to pick from. That's why it's called a lotto. That's why it's going to be fun. And the other hat, the diatonic scales. So we'll leave this blank for now. Like, this gets fun. Please bear with me. I'm just right now going to write a couple, I don't know, about 8 measures out, because we're gonna play this when we get done, just to see what it sounds like. Because I have no idea what it's going to sound like, basically. So gonna have some fun with the diatonics. It's not as complicated as it can be. I'm hoping I'm making this simple to understand, because this is a great tool. So all I did is I wrote 4 bars down there. Really cheesy, right? Just a piece of paper. I would say all you need is 2 pieces of paper to do this. Now, don't run away from me. This is the scary part if you haven't ran away already. It's not really that scary. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is fifths, right? Circle of fifths is what they call it. Why is it a circle of fifth? Why do they call it a circle of fifth? Because it's just what it's called. So those of you know C, there's all natural notes. There's no sharps or flats. So that's usually, in theory, what people start out learning. But we're just going to go random, so we're going to have to learn whatever happens. We don't have to memorize this. This is just going to be a guide for us. It's going to be another little tool. So actually, all we're really doing is we're writing down the diatonic chords in Roman numerals, which are minor, which are major, and which that one we're not going to use, I think, because it's going to take too long for the video. Because I want to try to make this short so I don't put you guys to sleep here. But so we're going to run through this really quick. There's many uses of this. We're just using this for the diatonic scale, just to cheat to, we know how to make our scale, basically. So basically how this works, a lot of people have acronyms they remember, but you don't have to remember anything. You just have to write this down, or you can print it offline. I mean, you can find it anywhere. Circle of fifths. C's in the middle. What we're doing with that, so we know which have sharps. I wrote down here very small, 1 sharp, 2 sharp, 3 sharp, 4 sharp, not all the way through. It's not, for what we're doing today, you don't have to know everything about this. It's just we're using it as a chart. So we know when we come off to the right side of the wheel, C is natural, G is going to add 1 sharp. So that's where you go back to the F. That will be your sharpened note of the scale of G. You go to D, oh, it's 2 sharps. So you're going to go back, starting the F again. F's going to be sharpened note, so is C. And it's going to do the same thing all the way down the line. We're not going to worry about the flats because we're making the video really short. Just going to show you like something really simple, and hopefully you have a lot of fun with it. If you can copy this down, basically you can do it a lot more simple than that. Just draw a circle. Everything's a fifth. So you have C as your 1, right? D, E, F, G. Oh, it's 5. They're all that way. G, A, B, C, D. Well, that's a 5. We're just going to continue that. Now for the diatonic, this is going to be our 6th chord. It's always going to be a minor. And if you look at a diatonic chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, yeah, it is a minor. So basically, we're just going to work with this little group right here and leave the diminished out. A diminished is a minor on top of a minor and is not used a lot. And I'm trying to make the video short and as simple as possible. This is for people who don't already know this, or want to learn, or want to see the fun game at the end, because, like I said, we cut up individually every chord and every key, A, B, C, D, F, G. So just 7 and 7, like the rainbow of colors. So we're going to branch out on the key signature and make some chords that are perfectly in that key. So I hope this has made sense so far. I think I've explained everything as much as I can, I hope. And leave comments if I didn't. Like I said, we're just using this as a chart. We're just going back to look at this. The game is we cut out the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Cut them out separately. So we have an A and B and C, D, and put them in a hat. And we put the diatonic chord shapes in chords in the hat too. Okay, so that's that piece of paper. I said take 2 sheets of paper. So we're gonna write a song right now randomly, lotto style. So I'm gonna get to it. This is my little format. Got my major diatonic. Okay. So now, in this hat, I have 7 notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I'm just going to randomly pick one, and we'll see how we need the circle of fifths. How the circle of fifths is actually going to be like really quickly useful to us, so we don't have to worry about much. Okay, looks like we have a G. a G major. So I'm going to go on this. I'm not even going to worry about the flats and sharps right now, because I know G is going to be a G major. Okay, so we're going to put it up here. We have a big G major here. Second one's going to be minor. We're not going to worry about too much right now. We're just going to fill it out. So we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's no H. We're starting over an A. A, B, C, D, E, F. Then we'll go back to G. Okay, now if this was C, we wouldn't have to do a thing. But since we're one step to the right of the wheel, here's how we're going to use the circle of fifths. And this is going to be really simple. We're just going to look at this here. We're going to match up G. I'm going to look at it. If you wrote this out, you'll have, oh, it has one sharp. So just go back to the F. So all I have to do is sharpen the F. Oh, and that's a leading tone, half step to G. So it's a pretty simple key, actually. Not as simple as C, I guess, but it's only one sharp, so it's going to make stuff a lot, a little bit easier. So we've already picked our key. We have our key. Now we're going to randomly pick this. To be in this key signature, we have to start on the 1, which is a G. So our first chord, that is very simplified, is going to be G. G major. So now we're going to pick from the other hat, and we're going to write a song just completely randomly. So let's see what happens here. All right, I'm shaking the hat. We already have our 1, but I have all of them. Oops, one fell out. I have all of them in here anyway, so we're just going to randomly pick. What do we get? Okay, so our second chord is going to be 2. It's the second chord of the scale. So now that we wrote that down, we can look at that. Number 2 is an A, but it's lowercase. So that's going to make it a minor. So this is going to be a little A minor. Okay. We can either put this back in there or do whatever we want, or else we can just make a chord salad. We'll just keep this out. We're just going to keep drawing and see what we come up with. Just for fun. See what comes up next, and then see what it sounds like. Whoa. Well, that's okay. Okay, I came up with a 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a capital, so it's a major. So I guess we're going to have to put a D major here. Huh. Wonder what that's going to sound like. Oh, I lost some stuff on the floor. Bear with me here. All right, let's throw them all back in there. Oh, there's my 2 chord. So I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 Roman numerals in here is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of throwing them back in just to see what we're going to come up with, and hopefully it's something different. Okay, I came up with a Roman numeral 1, which I guess is going to take us back to the 1, which is a G. Okay. Doesn't look too fancy yet, but it's going to be in perfect key. So I'll throw that back in again. Shake it up, pick another one. Then I go back to a 5. Okay. Kind of interesting. And of course, it's random, so if you don't like what you get, you can always change them around later, right? You got a diminish. We're going to leave that one out. I'm not going to do a diminish. It's going to take too long. I want to make this a 1 again. Well, okay. 1, G. We don't want another 1. We'll leave that one out. So we're going to dig in here again. Oops, that was on top. Okay, now we got a 6 irrelevant minor 6. E minor. Random. Throwing that one out too. See what we end up with? We're only doing 4 bars. We're doing it like really simple. Back to a 2 chord, an A minor. So it's not going to resolve at the end. It's going to resolve back to the 1s. It's going to be kind of interesting. So we're going to do the A minor. We can split up these measures if we want to. I'm just saying this is a random just to show the diatonic, how it works. match this numbers up with those numbers. As long as you have a scale pattern, those are the chords you're going to use that are going to be perfect. Okay? All right, now that we got that, so we have a G, A minor, D, G, D, G, B minor, A minor. That sounds a little funny, but well, no matter what happens, this is going to be our scale, and we can grow off and add and do. This is just a basis starting point, but it's kind of cool because it was random, and all those notes work together. So that's kind of the whole theory of this. So let's gonna see what it sounds like real quick. Bear with me just 1 minute. Should have this ready. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like a really quick to see what this sounds like, and record a quick track, really short, and then because I want to show you how the major scale will go over these chords too. All right, get the mic. Whoop. We're not going to do a rhythm or anything. We're going to keep it slow. We're just coming up with a progression. This is the chord progression. So hopefully you can see all of us. So this is what we wrote by randomly picking. So we're recording this. So we got a G. I'm half step down because I have to do that because my grip doesn't work anymore, so I can't play that well. So, but beyond that, that's why if I look funny, here's a nut should be. I'm a full step down, but I'm going to do the real chord notes. So what we wrote starts with a G, into A minor, you see I'm adding kind of because this is all the scale. I'm playing just a G major scale. So let's start over again. We're going to do this again. So random. Lotto song. Now we're starting with the G, D, then the G, drop to E minor, to A minor, and then back to G. See how all those fit with the family right there? So you can see the chord, but probably not me, but that's not the point, just so you see how these fit together. So now that we have that, right, and we know how that works, let me get this on for us here. Well,
We'll have stuff down because that's what we got.
okay, we don't want that too loud here so you can hear this guitar. So basically, we wrote this up, this built out of this, right? The major scale of G. So your melody line, your leads, everything be perfect would be. Resolve on the G. It's just a G major scale. And everything, these chord shapes, G major scale will fit in. We'll do it again. Like, very simple, note after note pattern, but of course you can space that out any way you want. So anyhow, hopefully the video wasn't too confusing for some or too simple for some, and just kind of the basic of working with diatonics. It's been around for a long time, so I want to thank you for watching. If you didn't know this, hopefully this helps you and it wasn't too hard to understand. Remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you.